Okay, we are live. Apologies for the delay. Um, Having some fun IT issues with charging my MacBook, and did the old unplugged and plugged everything back in a few times. Didn't work, and somehow now it does. So we made it. We made it. It's Monday, so
Yeah,
here,
barely, but we made
here we
it.
are. Here we are. Okay, welcome to Someone's Happy Hour. Today is January 17th, episode 53, and we've got a great show in store for you guys. Today we're going to talk some change in the workplace. So we'll get into some of that stuff later, but different things when people are leaving teams, projects, things like that, kind of how that impacts us, and then kind of overall thoughts on that. We're also going to get into our segments as per usual. Obviously, want you guys to continue to ask questions, engage with us in the chat, and interact with you guys, because that's what's so fun about doing these live on our YouTube page. And then lastly, wrap it up with a 5v5 of non-mainstream sports.
Yeah, definitely. So it seems to be a common trend among the workplace now that there's a lot of change going about. So we thought it'd probably be very relatable for us to do a little tidbit about it, and hopefully we can shed some light on our
Yeah,
reaction to it.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I think without further ado, we can get into our morning stand-up.
Sounds good. Did you want to get going, or do you want me? Either way.
You can get going.
All right. So for starters, one of the things that Todd and I both talked about is one of the things we're trying to do in 2022 is eat healthy. And it's funny because I had a moment. So like both been eating healthy. We've talked about this offline, but both have been eating healthy, making sure we're not doing that. And it's funny because what ended up happening is we both caved, and caved because of the same exact restaurant. So like I had this moment where I wanted B Dubs. I want to say it was on like Friday or Saturday during the football games. I was like, no, I won't. And then on Sunday,
Okay.
we ended up playing. I think all of us were online. I think Saturday night, and we were talking. And then you were talking about, dude, I just got B Dubs, and it was like the best. And I was like, fuck. And then you were talking about the Asian Zing, and I was like, gotta try that. So ordered B Dubs. I caved, and it was phenomenal. And I've got my leftovers to look forward to after I get off recording. So very pumped about that, but definitely caved, but still or eating healthy. Got a bunch of groceries. Not gonna eat out for a bit again. Try and take breaks, but the B Dubs did smack. Uh, so that's part one. Otherwise, I think as with everyone, beginning of the year work's still crazy. So I guess that's just life. I guess since last week. Another thing, I've been really into watching movies. So I think is partially because I got, you know how when you go to the movies and they have all those different popcorn seasonings. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So long roundabout way how I'm getting to this. So
Yeah.
I want, I really wanted to get some of those, and I just kept like being like, oh, it's never on top of mind. And I was like, I thought about it,
We have
ordered them
like
on
three different
Amazon.
flavors here.
Oh yeah, I've got. It came in like a pack of five. I really wanted white cheddar. That was the main one, but I got
That's
like
yeah, Nancy's favorite is the white cheddar, the blue one.
I got exactly. I got white cheddar, jalapeno cheddar. Uh, I think nacho cheese.
That's the
There's a
orange one. We
bacon
got that
cheddar
one.
one. I forgot. There's a fifth one too.
We have
Anyways,
the garlic parmesan. The green
oh,
one.
that was the other. That's a green one, right?
Yeah.
Yep, there's the fifth. But anyway, so I was stoked about having these. So I was like, okay, well, now I got to, with that, have popcorn, watch a movie. So over the last week, I watched Encanto, which is that new Disney Plus movie. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
I have not.
it is phenomenal. Really highly recommend it. One of those animated Disney Pixar ones. And
You know
then
the main girl is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
so it's
Rosa?
funny because that's in my deep dive. Like I will get
Oh,
into we'll get into
well,
that. Oh no, it's fine. I think people know that, but that's getting into my deep dive. But yeah, so that is she was awesome. So I'll
yeah.
talk a little bit more about that then. But that movie is phenomenal. Then I also watched Don't Look Up, which I don't know if you've seen. That's on Netflix with like
Yeah, we've seen that one.
Leo and all them. And I actually just realized that I don't think I actually finished the movie. I think I have 30 minutes left because I paused it and I was about to fall asleep. It's a good movie. It was just super late. But I'm pumped because I'm like getting into watching movies and like all that stuff. So it's a good way to wrap up your day. And then lastly, I've gone back and forth on whether I should say this on the podcast, but I've decided that I'll obviously disclose as much information as I want to disclose, but I started doing this process, and this is where it's gonna be good because we're gonna talk through this, talking to you guys, the listeners, and we're gonna go through this emotional roller coaster together. So like right now, I'm feeling pretty decently confident that I'll be able to move to Denver when my lease is up. So I've started looking at apartments. But again, we're going to go down this rabbit hole again and potentially just be like, nope. So hopes are not all the way up yet. But I've definitely gone through the process of looking at apartments and like, damn, dude, I could live here. And like looking at different places in the city where I was like, that could be a really cool place to live. Or like realizing I was like, damn, dude, I could get like a decent 2-bedroom with this. And then that's where I'm like just going down this rabbit hole of like, oh, I could get a dog. Oh, I could all this stuff. And I'm like, I got to reel it back. But I wanted to be full transparency. Obviously, I'll like, again, disclosing as much as I want to disclose. But yeah, that's on the radar.
Stakes are getting high.
Yeah, I know stakes are getting high.
You should send me the ones that you're looking at.
Yes.
And if anything, it'll give Nancy and I something to do on the weekends. We could go check them out or something like that. Not tour them, but like just like drive by or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that'd be, how funny would it be if you're like, oh yeah, it's not available. We just got it. You're like,
yeah, no, I think we want to stay. I think we really like our location, so I think we're probably.
Well, it's funny because like I've been filtering based on like price range and like the type of place I'm looking at, and it's so funny because I like anytime I'm looking in your area, your apartment building shows up in my results. So it's like,
yeah,
got a new neighbor.
I mean, like if you could like, honestly, if one of our deals comes back up again where you can get it for our price, like I'd probably jump on it. But I don't know if it's gonna happen with that.
Yeah.
But if it's not that price, I don't know if I'd do it just based on like you don't know the water heater, you don't know about the oven, you don't know about, and not that it's a bad place. I make it all the complaining makes it sound like we live in like a trap house or something. When really it's not.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. That'd be really funny. I get to like didn't they just like remove a hot tub or something?
They did.
Like they'll be like offering me a deal, be like, I'm only signing if you put the hot tub back.
Yeah,
really
they put in an outdoor fire pit that I don't think they've ever turned on. So.
Yeah, but so yeah, we'll see. I'll obviously keep everyone posted as we go.
Even if they say no, just don't say anything and just like move out here.
Well, that's what's
and just be like, oh, you need me to come to the office? Yeah, sure. Yeah, and then it's like, oh, I have COVID. Never mind, can't be there.
It's just so funny because like when I look at it, it's like I've literally been into our Illinois office 3 times maybe total since being in my role, and I've gone to our Minnesota office like 12 or 14 times, like specific days I mean, and I'm like, okay, so I could still fly to Minnesota from Denver, like nothing's changing, and my whole team's in agreement, so it'll just be a matter of like getting leadership on board, so we will see, but I'll keep everyone posted on that. It's just so funny as I'm going through this. It's a little bit of deja vu when I think back to last year and going through this whole like, oh dude, we're good to go, and then not so much. So we will see, but exciting stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised that you mentioned that.
Yeah, no, I was like, fuck it, dude, I'll mention it. But it was more so right now, I'm not saying it's going to happen or anything. It's more so preliminarily looking at apartments, just looking at apartments. So if anyone from my company is listening to this, I'm not even, no leases signed, nothing, just looking at apartments. Because I like spending time on Zillow and apartments.com. That is it.
Yeah. I just wish it wasn't so fucking glitchy. Apartments.com is nice, but it's like so glitchy. It's annoying.
Dude, it's so, the one thing I like about apartments.com versus Zillow is that like apartments.com seems to have better or more virtual tours, which is kind of nice. I was
just about to say that. That's
like,
so
that part's
funny.
Nice.
They usually have a virtual or 3D tour.
Yeah, which is like so you like click through it and like go through all the rooms.
Yeah, it helps out when especially like when you're not in that city or something like that. And like, granted, like if you needed to, you could always come and visit. And check out apartments, but like it's nice knowing that they have that option.
Oh yeah. Well, I think before, like if I like down the line got approval, all this stuff, then that would definitely be a next step, is like to come out there and see him in person, because that would be nice. But it'll be interesting. It's just funny because I'm going through the whole, like even when I was looking at Chicago, I was looking at apartments and going through this whole thing. It's so funny how I'll be like, oh, dude, I love this apartment. I'll be like, fuck, I forgot to filter on like in-unit washer dryer. And then like time back to the drawing board. So we'll see. I'll definitely keep you posted and everyone else posted on that. But yeah, just a fun little thing. I've been like, I was trying to think over the last week, like what have I been doing? I'm like, A
The
little bit of
great
that. A
Denver
little bit of that.
migration.
A little bit of that. So, how about you? What's your morning stand up for the week?
Yeah. So, and we'll talk about this later too. And this also kind of plays into the theme of this. Also, probably is going to be my 4 p.m. meeting of the week. But my manager has decided to leave the company, the one that I report to. So that just caused a bunch of kerfuffle and everything like that. But one thing that I like kind of sprouted this weekend, Nancy and I went to the University of Denver just to like walk around the campus, check it out, the buildings, stuff like that.
Oh shoot.
And like a possibility for maybe like grad school or something like down the line. And he went there, my manager did. And so he was like trying to convince me on it when I told him that I was thinking about an MBA in the future. And honestly, I've been looking into it more, and it's like not that bad of a school. The only thing would be like they do have a basketball, but they don't have a football team because they're private. And not that that's a big deal, but like, and it's really close to like it's like
a big
15-minute drive
because you still have 4 years of NCAA eligibility. So
yeah, if I want to play,
like if they need a quarterback or not.
Yeah, no. So maybe I'll join the basketball team, but no, it was actually a really beautiful campus, and I really enjoyed. They have like a bunch of new like student halls and like the commons and stuff like that, and I was like, dang. And like obviously they still have views of downtown Denver and a view of the mountains, so it's like,
it's tough.
Damn,
it's tough.
I know it's hard out there. So, but it was a really good walkthrough. We brought Enzo too, so
you've got like
he was prospecting. I was like, you want to go here?
Yeah, exactly.
What are they going to offer him?
Yeah, I know.
So,
how many treats? Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's so funny because you're like kind of going through kind of that whole process again when you're looking at grad schools. Like I've been helping Carter with some of his stuff with like obviously looking at undergrad colleges and stuff. And I know Andy joked, I think it was last week, he was like, oh, is Carter making his decision on the podcast? But it's funny because like going through that whole process, it's so like similar. Like that was one thing when I was just talking about like relocation. I know I talked to my team about, they're like, oh, is it like grad school driving you? I'm like, I mean, maybe a little bit, but it's one of those things where it's down the line. Cause I'm like, if I think about like starting like next fall, I'm like, fuck, I got to go through that whole process of applying scholarships, like choosing your schools, like it. And then not to mention that with MBA, you also have the GMAT or whatever the other one is.
Yeah. GMAT or GRE.
Yeah, GRE.
The University of Denver does not require the GMAT or GRE. So I was like,
up the list.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's pretty huge. But then the one thing is since it's like private, it's like 30 grand more for the whole program.
Yeah, but they also,
like, oh man.
But like, and like, I don't know if Gavin's listening, but he can probably speak to this more. But I know like he went to Marquette, which is a private school. So like on paper, the school's more expensive. But when you actually start, when you factor in how much more scholarships they can get or give since they're private, then it usually evens out. But yeah, it'll be interesting as you kind of look at that. But what do you have any idea? And I know we're kind of going on a tangent, so sorry for listening. But is that something where you're thinking that more like not like, are you thinking as early as this fall or like beyond?
I don't know. I think like this fall would have to be pushing it because I'm pretty sure the deadlines are coming.
Oh shit! Wait, that makes sense because Carter literally is waiting on schools to tell him it'd be the same thing.
Yeah, I think the University of Denver maybe would be a possibility for this fall, but like I don't know if like I'd be like ready for it or whatever. But if I wanted to go to like CU Boulder or CU Colorado Springs, Colorado State, those require the GMAT, and I know there's no way I would take the GMAT and be happy with that score at the moment. So that would probably be moved because they want the GMAT, and that would require some more effort into that. Yeah. So like, I know it's really funny because like I thought about taking the GMAT earlier, but then I was like, dude, this just does not seem appealing. Like just take it. Like I don't know how Kyle did his CPA, but like. Yeah, taking a test, question. And I know the CPA is not like a standardized test, but like just taking the GMAT just seems like so pointless to me. So that's why the University of Denver has been like creeping more and more up. And I'm like,
I wonder if that'll become more like mainstream where people don't have to take that. Because I know
a lot of schools are adopting it. A lot of bigger schools are adopting it.
Aren't they? Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't a lot of bigger schools I feel like are also doing, I don't know, I'd have to ask Carter, he'd know better than me, but like are even changing like their stuff for like ACT, SAT sort of thing. Like
Yeah,
even for
NIU doesn't
undergrad.
require any standardized testing anymore.
So yeah, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But another thing to keep on
No,
the radar.
yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. I think it's just like that at one point alone, it's like probably gonna make or break it for me. And like, yeah, it would be fun to have like another football or like basketball school, but
But
like
hey, NIU's on the climb. So
that and like I can get behind the Denver Pioneers basketball team, so
all the
or women's
pioneers.
lacrosse or
That's
something like
solid.
that.
That's
So
solid. I've become a women's lacrosse super fan.
yeah, but no, that was it was a good time and it was a lot of fun. Really beautiful campus. If you guys come, you definitely should check it out. If anyone goes, they should check it out. Yeah, and then there's surprisingly this weekend, obviously a lot of sports going on, a lot of sports betting going on.
Oh yeah, always.
I for some reason was not. I like missed like two. I placed a lot of bets on college basketball this weekend, and I missed like only two. And I can already tell you that it has not followed through into this week. So
You-
it
So
was a Saturday Sunday kind of thing.
yeah.
But
So
it was getting kind of crazy though, because I was like, oh, okay, I'll just place like five here. I won them all. Then five more, then won them all. And I'm like, oh shit, placed 10, lost two. And I was like, okay, it's still pretty good. Then like
hell yeah, it
yesterday,
is.
placed even more and like, probably the same, won like 80% of them. So it was just like a nuts time of like, am I just like a wizard or something like that? Like, do I just like, I know my stuff right now?
those moments with sports betting are so like there's no better feeling. Like there's no better feeling than being like I literally am never going to lose a bet again. Like this is the best thing in the world. It's those moments are just phenomenal. Like that's when you and Kyle were joking where it's like, okay, dude, whatever you did on those days, repeat it every day. And that's when you said like you and Nancy went like grocery shopping and like got a shit
Yeah,
ton of stuff.
we finally found like has a really good chicken salad.
Oh, that's
Sam's
right.
Club. So we were looking for that. We couldn't find it for like a couple of weeks, and then we finally found it at this one Sam's Club. And then that's the day when all my bets were hitting. So I
Yeah,
was like,
that's where we're like, dude, I don't even care if you're not even going to eat it. You're going to have to go to Sam's Club every single day and be like, you got the chicken salad for me? Because I'm back.
yeah, literally. But no, so that was a lot of fun. But the fun has since subsided, and we are back into our usual state of depression with sports betting. And the last thing I have here is also about the B-dubs. So yeah, caved and we ordered B-dubs on Saturday because you ordered yours on Sunday, and I can pretty much convince you that night. But
I still got some.
I was pretty
Asian
much
left in mine.
explaining, and I don't know if any of you guys agree with me. I think Jason said he agreed with me. But there is like no craving like the craving for B-dubs. Like it's not that like it's an immaculate meal. Well, sometimes it is depending on like your craving. But like
Sometimes it fucking is. The
It's
cheese
not
curds
like it's,
yesterday, and they had Southwest Ranch this time.
yeah, it's not like it's a hard to get meal or well, sometimes it is too because you have to wait forever. But like
True that.
it just like is some meal that like the result of the meal every time you get it. So it's like
Yeah.
there is no substitute for Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, there are really good wing spots and like yeah, there are different places that you can like get wings or try new wings or like there's different fast food wings. But there's like for some reason Buffalo Wild Wings just has this hold on me.
Yeah.
That's like when you crave it, nothing will like satisfy that craving unless it's beat ups.
Plus,
So,
I feel like the consistency of it is pretty good. Like you're gonna get the same quality, like
Yeah.
pretty much across the board every time. Whereas, like I love Chipotle, but I can say with 100% confidence that there's times where I get a Chipotle bowl and I'm like, damn, this one kind of sucked. Or like there's times where like a Chipotle bowl absolutely smacks. But like I feel like there's more like variety between those. Whereas like B Dubs, you can pretty much ensure that like you're gonna get good, consistently good, and you know what you're expecting and everything like that. So
yeah.
yeah, when we were talking about that the other day, this is the problem. So like, so you said you got it on Saturday. Me, you, and Kyle are hopping online. I had already had this thought, like, damn, I really could use B Dubs, and of course that's what you mentioned, like Nancy and I got B Dubs. I'm like, I
It
feel like
was
this
written
is-
in the
this
stars
is,
that
this is a
day.
sign. This is a sign. And then you're talking. I was like, oh, what'd you get? And you're like talking through, and you're like, dude, this Asian zing smacks. And I'm like,
Yeah, dude, it's the staple. You have
it's hard because like I usually, like I did this past time, I usually get like 20 wings because I love having B Dubs leftovers, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
And the problem is when you get 20, I was like, okay, I've got 3 wings like flavors set, and actually B Dubs wings flavors sidebar, it might be a good 5v5, but I have garlic parmesan, honey barbecue, and lemon pepper, like the seasoning as my three. And I'm like, there's not really a fourth one that is like my go-to. I've had teriyaki, it's eh. And then you were like, dude, Asian zing. I was like, if anything, this is an investment in future Jason for getting wings. So it really doesn't count as eating out. This is an investment opportunity. And lo and behold, Asian zing fucking slaps. So now I've got a solid round 4 number, and it's perfect.
Would you say it's your favorite now, or would you just it's a top tier one? Because I think I would say that like it's not necessarily my favorite because my favorite changes based on like what I'm feeling. Like sometimes I do like a lemon pepper dry rub, or sometimes I like a really spicy wing. But like it's my number one go-to. Like I'll always get it no matter when I'm getting B-dubs.
I feel like it's definitely now reached a point where I'm gonna get it for sure. Like regardless of the quantity, whether or not it's my favorite, like favorite probably varies depending. But like garlic parmesan is one like I really like, but it's like one of those where every once in a while I won't get it. But like I feel like it's right up there with like a honey barbecue type lemon. I really like lemon pepper. It's like if I was just getting 3, I think I'd get those 3. And like honestly, I'm really happy we're talking about wings now because that's what I'm like eating for dinner as my leftovers. It just like so I don't know if anyone listening, if like you've thought about
Asian zing cold is better than Asian zing warmer too.
See, so this is maybe it's not a hot take because I think we're in agreement on this, but I almost like so first of all, B-dubs leftovers you eat cold, like that's just how it is. Although I'm gonna throw the cheese curds in the air fryer, so I'm excited about that. But B-dubs wings leftovers cold 100%. And I almost like look forward to that. Like I obviously love the wings when I'm eating them then, but I almost just as much look forward to the leftovers after and knowing like tomorrow I'm gonna eat some cold B-dubs and it's gonna taste phenomenal.
I mean, you're talking to like literally the guy who eats everything preferred cold leftovers. So
this
me
is,
and my
this
twin
is my
sister.
Audience. This is my audience. I don't know if everyone else agrees. And sorry, I'm like holding a ping pong ball. I just happen to
No, I mean I think a lot of people disagree just based on like a lot of Nancy and her friends thought it was weird because I literally love to eat leftovers cold. Like pasta, garlic bread, pizza, wings, burgers,
I don't know if I'd say
chicken
everything.
Sandwiches.
Oh, Samantha just said, and sorry, I know people were responding earlier. We'll get to those too. Samantha just said, I can't have any of the good wings. That's true. Damn. She's very limited, so that kind of sucks. Wait, I'm curious what kind of wings she can have, though. I'm also curious for people listening, like, what are your favorites? Did we list them already? I feel like when I was looking at, like, when I was curious where, like, Asian zing, like, ranked on the thing, I think, like, a lot of the ones I listed are, like, which I was like, damn, I'm basic as hell, but it said, like, some of these are, like, the most popular ones.
Hello.
And I was like, oh, whatever. But I mean, I'm curious, and it sounds like Samantha can't have any good wings or any of the good wings, so that kind of blows. I don't know what you can have. Maybe no, I don't know. You can have. Oh, it's probably just the breading on the chicken,
carrots.
maybe.
Yeah, just try carrots in the sauce or something.
No lie, it actually is really funny because whenever I'm at my parents' house and like me, Gavin, and Andy will like, oh, there's game on, let's order B-dubs. We literally. Like, she is way too excited when you get the free carrots and celery because we're like, fuck that, we won't eat those. But, like, she is like, game time, let's go. So, wait, so you can't have any one. Wait, so the ones with bones, I don't know if she's saying the ones with bones are gluten-free and those are the ones she can have.
I think so because they have. I don't think they really have like the breading. The boneless ones are kind of like basically breaded chicken nuggets.
So what I'll say though is, if I'm eating in the restaurant, although it's more messy, so that's the only thing. But there are a lot of places where like the bone-in wings taste a lot better, and like B-dubs, the bone-in wings do taste really good. So, okay, let's see. Get back to previous. So Gavin said, I always say Marquette was my cheapest option, factoring all that in. So getting back to the private school stuff, that. Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's one of those things where, like, on paper it looks like crazy, but then, like, when you factor all that in, it's not that bad. And then Samantha throwing a shot at the Brewers, saying Brewers count as no mainstream, right? So I don't think Mitch said he's joining right away. I think he might be joining later. So we'll have to make sure to circle back to that one. So
yeah,
he sees that. And then Nancy confirming white cheddar is the best. So absolutely.
Top tier.
Boneless are no bueno.
Well,
yep, that's what Tyler was saying. And carrots are amazing. Just want to make sure to catch up on that because I know we were talking about various amount of toppings.
Bones in are gluten free. That's good to know, actually. But yeah, the last thing I'll say about wings is they actually have a Beat Ups to go near me,
Yes, you
which
were
is like
saying that. You
a
were saying that.
restaurant that looks like a wing stop that is Buffalo Wild Wings. And it's not like you sit and like have a server. You literally just go up there, order your food, and they have like a soda fountain and stuff like that. So
Wait, so
crazy.
did you order it ahead of time and pick it up?
I did and picked it up,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
sure.
didn't know that you could go to
Yeah,
the.
because
I thought it was just a normal Buffalo Wild Wings.
yeah, because I was
I didn't even know
curious.
they had these.
Yeah, neither did I. Because I was curious if like you went there and ordered it, like what the ETA would be on you getting your wings.
I don't know because like
I'd assume it'd be
the
quicker.
pickup was still like 45 minutes.
All right, maybe because it was Saturday. Weekends are probably.
It was pretty busy. There was a lot of people coming in and out to pick up wings just in the span of like when I was
Oh
there.
yeah,
There was like
that,
four other people and me.
that's what I was worried about when I ordered them on Sunday because I was ordering them in the middle of all the football games. But I think because I waited till like 2 or 3 p.m., which was like a really weird time to eat, that I was like okay, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Hopefully, it'd be pretty cool if we inspired someone to get beat ups right now. I'd also feel bad if
Cravings.
you've also been trying to eat healthy and now you're just like, damn, I really could smack some beat ups. Welcome
If
to
you
the
want to be
team.
healthy, you can also get the wrap there, and they can put any of the buffalo sauce, any of the sauces they have on the wrap.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna tell Samantha too. Like even if you can't have the boneless wings, you could get
Yeah, you can
other
get I
stuff
think a
with the
grilled
sauce.
chicken wrap, and you can get any of the sauce.
Yeah, there's. Did you know? All right, now we're just talking about wings a lot, but so I tried finding the Southwest Ranch that comes with the cheese curds as like a bottle, but I couldn't find it, which is very disappointing. Or like I found it, but anytime I order it with my beat ups ordered, they're like, "Sorry, we're out," and I'm like, "Whatever." But basically, any sauce there you also can get as a bottle. So like you could get
Yeah,
the
they sell them at
Asian
Walmart.
Zing. Oh, I didn't even know that.
There's like the garlic parmesan Asian zing,
Have you ever gotten the Asian Zing
hot.
or no?
No, I'm like it's weird when you like buy a bottled sauce. It's like not the same.
Yeah, because it's not as the same as like just being part of the wing. Now it's just almost too much
Plus, it's like they're always like more expensive than like a regular just like sauce.
because
That'd
it has the
probably be
Buffalo
better.
Wild Wings bottle or
Yeah.
logo on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's up, Mauricio?
What's up,
Mauricio
Mauricio? Welcome to Twitter too, my dude. Finally joined the bandwagon. I think that's every app now he's joined that we've been telling him to tell
Instagram,
him to
Twitter,
join.
Venmo,
Do you have LinkedIn, dude? Connect with me.
Barstool Sportsbook.
Yeah, get him now. Next bet is sports betting. Yeah, that
I
was
saw them at Walmart. That's right.
that was a
Yeah, that was a lot about wings.
that was a lot about
We can-
wings.
we can move
So
on.
if you now's if anything, if you were considering ordering out dinner tonight and considering wings while
Guess
you
what you
watch
should have?
the Monday Night Football game, consider this a sign. But yeah, so that's kind of our morning stand up. So we can get into our main topic now, which we were talking a little bit about change in the workplace between like people leaving teams, projects, things like that. As Tyler alluded to earlier, and he'll talk a little bit more about in a 4 p.m. meeting and maybe even in here, this kind of idea came about because his manager literally 2022 starts, peace, I'm out, and yeah, that's kind of where we've gotten to where we're at. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I guess to
Um,
start, or I don't know if you want to say anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it just makes sense, like the great resignation that's happening right now with like a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
people leaving and like moving to jobs they want, or just a lot. There's just a lot of people moving around, and which is a cause for a lot of people leaving teams or leaving projects, and this is always like good for that person in the sense because they're obviously choosing a better opportunity to go or choosing a better location or something that works out better for them
Yeah.
that wasn't working out before. Sorry, Enza just like crashed through the door.
It's like, is
He literally
everyone
like
okay?
did it like the Kool-Aid man. That was crazy.
No, he is all good.
Um,
Got a special guest. I was worried. I was like, I just heard a crash, and I was like,
he's literally never done that. It was so funny. He literally like pushed through the door, like arms going crazy and like jumping.
wait. So is he able? I mean, this is probably a stupid question because he's huge now. But he can. Does he know how to like kind of get to the door and just like?
I don't think he opened the door handle.
Damn.
But
It's just crazy that how much bigger he's gonna be next time I see him. Like I can't get over that.
yeah, he's a big boy. But as I was saying, with all this great resignation going around, it's obviously like a scary thing for the team that your lead or the person is leaving. So if you're on that team, you know, there is now work that needs to be done that someone was doing and no one is no longer doing that work. So that is always scary.
Oh yeah.
But it's also potential to be, I'm kind of going to the positive negatives is this as well, but it's potential like an opportunity for you to like show more responsibility or show why you deserve a raise or show why you need a promotion.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because I was out of curiosity, like, when that happened, and I haven't my
Yeah, that
my
scared me,
manager.
Kevin.
What happened?
I was like, that scared me.
Yeah. Dude, it
That was
scared me
so
too.
funny.
I just heard this
Yeah.
loud crash coming up from Tyler's side. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That'd
I'm
be funny
curious
for the
because so
audio.
I've had people like leave teams and it really sucks, and I've had all that stuff. But like currently, there's not really someone on my immediate team who's like left. It's more I've had like projects reorganized, and we can get into that in a little bit. But I'm curious, given that it's so fresh and new, when you first heard that, what were like the initial thoughts like going through your mind?
Well, I think it's different when it's like your manager.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that's what I'm curious. 'Cause I've
So
never had it be where like it's like, oh yeah, your
you're
manager.
you're reporting, like who you're reporting to is now
Yeah.
like saying goodbye, see you later.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I guess like it's always at first a little bit kind of like scary because now it's like, oh, who am I reporting to? It's like who's overseeing my work, who's checking on it, Like now, I guess senior leadership and your leadership and you. There's no middleman now. So
Yeah.
now senior leadership is on your like,
Yeah.
like your doorstep being like, what's going on with this? How is this going? What's this? And you're like, oh shoot. Like I can't explain to my manager because they would usually have my back or understand what I'm going through or trying to figure out. And they could help you like work with senior leadership. That's what it usually how
Yeah.
the ladder goes.
And now
So
it's just,
I think initially it was just like a little bit like scared, even though like your job and you can pretty much be like autonomous at it and like
it's
you know.
it's still just like an added level of pressure though, because now it's like
Yeah, it's like
any
stress.
sort
It's
of
like-
like safeguard. Well, not like, but like yeah, sort of like any sort of safeguard you had. or
yeah, your
any
manager
sort of,
has your
like-
back. They know the ins and outs of things. Like
Yeah.
now, like I was thinking about this too. When they backfill the position or hire someone, I'm gonna know more about the business in general than this person, unless they hire from within.
Yeah, so it's literally like any question about the company, let alone what they're working on.
Like, well, I don't know. What is
Tyler
it,
knows.
Tyler?
Tyler's been here forever, as far as they're
Yeah.
concerned. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's I was curious because like for me, when I've gone through anyone leaving, it's not been someone like a manager. It's more so been someone maybe I
Yeah,
worked
like
closely
your
with or thing like
co-peer
that.
or,
So it's more like
someone on their team or something like
exactly. So it's maybe not this like immediate impact of like, oh, how will this impact me? It's when they've been leaving the company. It's more been like, oh, like initially I'm like sad that they're leaving, but also like you have obviously like when you actually like think about it, you're like, actually no, this is like obviously a really good move for them and very excited for them and all that stuff. And at times a little jealous. Not that I want to leave the company, but it's like
that. Yeah.
just
Well, there. It's like
there's
something
always this
new.
sense of like something new. The grass is always greener. Also, this idea of like, and I know we've talked about this, but like, I know that when I ever leave the company I'm at, I know that I want to take like maybe like a 2-week gap at least between ending and then starting my new job, because I'm like, if I could do that and just give myself 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks of not just PTO, not just like, oh shit, I have a project coming up. It's 2 weeks of bliss. I don't have an old job that can contact me, and I don't have a new job that can contact me. That's 2 weeks of purposeful unemployment and I'm just chilling. And like, that's like euphoria. I'm like, this would be amazing. But anyways, what I was
Yeah,
getting
no, I
at,
mean that's
though-
always a fun thing too. It's just like there's no responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think that's the whole thing when you were getting to is like when you first found out, it's just all of this responsibility that was being shared between your manager, between you is now 100% on you. And I know like my manager's awesome.
Yeah.
Not to like be like, oh, I have a manager and I'm like, that's not what I'm getting at. But it's one of those things where I feel like you use your manager a lot for those quick like messages where you're just like, hey, hey, I want to run something by you really quick or anything like that. Whereas now it's like, you still may feel comfortable doing that with the one level up from that, but it's still a little different where like maybe those like quick one-off messages that you were sending your manager before, maybe you don't have the full comfort level at least yet to do that. But to
Yeah.
Mauricio's point, opens up an opportunity for you to show your skills to upper management. Flex.
No, definitely. And I think we're lucky enough to have like at least another manager above him that like we're pretty close to. So it like works out in the sense that we're not totally left alone. Like
Yeah.
the next person up is like the CIO or something like that,
Yeah.
or CDO, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. That'd be.
So that's definitely a good sign. But I think like it was definitely also like sad because I feel like a lot of people don't know he was the person that got me Nancy and I to Colorado. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because I interviewed with an or home advisor for a different position that I did
That's
not
right.
get.
That's right.
And he pulled me from that process and was like, actually, I think you'd be a better fit for this position under me and hired me. And I
Yeah.
got the job under him.
That's I completely forgot about that because I remember you were just like, oh yeah, this one. It sounds like the guy wants me for something different. Because I remember you were talking about your manager, and you're like, oh, he did all this really cool stuff. I think it was like with Everton or something. But it's like all this. He
Yeah.
sounded like a really cool guy. Enjoyed working with him, all that stuff, or like excited about the opportunity to work with him. And then you're like, oh yeah, now he wants me to like work directly for him. I completely forgot when you
Yeah.
talked about that. Like when you're talking with me and Kyle about kind of that whole process. Yeah,
Yeah. So like
that's
literally he was like the main person in like changing, why we got like why we were able to get Enzo, why we've been on the mountains, why you guys why
it's
maybe
fucking
you thought
nuts.
about
The
Denver,
amount of like ripple effects from that.
I know just
Crazy.
from him being like,
Crazy.
actually maybe we should talk. And
Yeah. Well, and that's like, I mean, now we're getting into like some philosophical, like, if this happened, then if you give a mouse a cookie and then all the things that come down. But I was like, if, knock on wood, oh, wood's all over there. I'll just, in the interim, if I'm able to even go eventually to Denver, that like, I guarantee at like 95% of the other possible jobs I could have rolled off to after my program would have been like, hell no. But my entire team being on board, potentially, obviously, asterisk, coming out with other stuff. We'll see, but it's pretty crazy. Like I don't know, just how many things just can come about just because of just simple little decisions. I mean, maybe not little decisions, but because of decisions you make. And I guess to that end, one of the things I was going to ask you. So you obviously currently have experience with people leaving teams. Have you dealt at all? I know recently I have, but I was curious if you've dealt at all recently with like anyone leaving a project because that's a little different because you're still staying on the team, or but it's just like oh yeah, peace out, I'm not working on this.
I guess I mean at my previous job, yeah, but not so much here because I feel like they're what I do is kind of is definitely on a team, but like I'm the only like
You're the
analyst on the
main.
team.
You're the yeah yeah yeah.
So like regardless of who leaves, like my job is still gonna have to go, and it's not gonna be any different just because that person left. Like, I mean, I may not talk to them anymore, but obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's ever been like impactful to my work more the
Yeah.
outcome of the project. But
Yeah.
you said you've had to deal with that
Yeah,
before.
well, it's funny because I would like up to this point, up till recently, I had not because I was in a rotational program where it was very structured. Every 6 months, it's like this is what you're working on. This is your manager, like very structured, and it's intended to be that way. Obviously, rolling off the program end of June, I'm starting this full time role. Like obviously, it was full time before, but like full time, like normal, like no rotation, no anything. And so obviously, you're bound to run into this. And it was really funny because at the end of the year, I love my manager, love working with her. She's awesome. But it's really funny because I'm finding out, I want to say this is literally like right before we go off, everyone's off for 2 weeks. I'm finding out on a call, oh, by the way, Jason, your manager, like using my manager's name, but like, oh, by the way, she's not working on this project anymore. And there were like three of the projects I was working on. She's just like left two of them. And she used to be working on all three with me. I was like, oh, like game time, teamwork, let's go. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, she's not working on this. She's not working on this. And I was like, my immediate reaction was like, oh shit. Is she just like, did I do something? Like, is everything okay? And lo and behold, it's more like we're like shifting our organization a little bit to focus on specific things. And I actually ended up removing myself from those two projects as well so I could focus on other things. But it was just funny because my initial reaction, I was like, it's like, what do I don't even know how to approach. It was so funny because she was like pinging me like, hey, I'm so sorry. I should have let you know earlier. But I just like basically talked through about this, all this stuff. And I think I got like literally they were talking about it when I was supposed to be out in Minnesota, but I had COVID. But it was just funny how it worked out. She's like, oh yeah, I'm not working on this anymore. I was like, nice. But obviously it all worked out, and I'm very excited about what I'll be working on this year. But it was just very funny in the moment to have people like who you're like it's sort of the same thing. Like you're constantly relying on working on and throwing ideas off of and all this stuff. And all of a sudden it's just like, just kidding, I'm not doing this. And you're like, immediate thought is like panic and okay, now all this responsibility falls on me. And just figuring out like where you fit in all of this. And then, but again, it's like, it's a much smaller scale than what like you had to deal with, because like for me, it was like, okay, there's these 2 projects go to wayside. Like now you got to do those on your own. Granted, I've since passed those projects on. So it's basically like nothing's changed, but it's one of those things where like for you, it's this whole aspect of like that manager role is gone. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that continues to evolve, especially as you go through like you're coming up on your 1 year. So figuring out like
tomorrow,
tomorrow coming up on that, being like, we can talk about this for forever, but like it's one of those things where like, okay, like how does someone who didn't work with you on a daily basis assess you? It's like,
I know. So, and there was kind of a workaround for that where like he kind of wrote it out. And so like that's basically good. the acting manager I have right now, which is the director. He's just going to hit the submit button. So,
oh, hell yeah, dude. Hopefully it was, you should be like, when I joined, the stock price was here. Right now, the stock price is here.
That's like, well, I'm pretty sure the manager and I agreed upon that I'd get at least this much in as a raise.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm pretty sure the manager and I agreed that like, I actually have your job now. I'm the director.
Yeah. But no, it is going to be a very interesting time. And then we had sort of a meeting today to discuss like backfilling the position, which, you know, comes, and it's always weird, I think, getting a new manager, because you're gonna find out how, you know, how they're gonna lead your team in like that first few days. Either they're gonna be
a hard ass, or are they gonna be like
or Mr. Friendly, or you know, Mrs. Hard Ass, or you know, like whoever it is. It's gonna be like very interesting to see, I think, and especially there's only like me and 2 others on the team, so it's a team of 3 to like lead. So it's not like you're, you know, head honcho leading a huge team, but it's just gonna be interesting because we're gonna have to train that person. You know,
it is a funny dynamic though, because you 3 are the most experienced in the room of the 4 of you, but the one who's least experienced is now the one who's supposed to tell you guys what to do.
Yeah. And this is how I kind of liked it before, or why I've liked this job so much. It's not been so much as I've been getting told what to do. It's more like questioning more from me, or like challenging me more. It's like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Like the nature of my work is more like testing and providing analysis on a test. So it's like maybe things I didn't consider, they ask questions about, and then that makes me want to do work to go find out the answers to that. So it's like, luckily I haven't been like, Tyler, you need to do this. Tyler, you need to do this. It's more like, well, what about this? It's like a collaborative discussion. And then like, obviously I'm the analyst. So like I have to find the answers to that.
Time to analyze. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And I know I asked this, I'm kind of curious. Do you know if they'll let you be a part of that? Which again is like kind of awkward, maybe a little bit to put you in this standpoint, but it is who you're working with all the time. Do you know if you'll be part of the interview process at all?
I don't. So I did interview with someone who is on like my coworker now, and she had like a few years of experience. So I don't know if it's just because she had a few years of experience, or just like you have to interview someone on the team.
Yeah.
Because for a manager position, I don't know if like we would interview him or her for a culture spot, or like assessing them. Well, probably not assessing them.
It'd probably be more so like, culture fit. How does this, like, whatever. You should be like, so like, how do you feel about giving your direct reports raises? Like, what are your thoughts on that? No, I'm kidding.
Well, it'd just be weird too, because then I feel like they'd have to interview all 3 of us on the team. They couldn't just interview one of us. Yeah. Because then like, you know, like why would one of us get to interview with them?
Oh yeah, I honestly think, I'd be curious if they just almost do like a group interview thing where it's like the 3 of you talking to one person. I don't know. I'm just
that'd be pretty crazy, but I feel like they have not led with that, so I feel like that's probably not going to happen. I feel like they'll just be like one day,
guess
we found someone for you.
Yeah, here you go. This is your manager. Hopefully you like him or her. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting. I think when we talk about this whole thing, I think one of the things that's like, at least when we first a few weeks ago talking about this week and after he left, because I think his last day you were saying was Friday, so we wanted to talk about this post, like, so you can kind of get your bearings and things like that. I think one of the key takeaways, at least for me, when we talked about that, and when I was at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, my manager's just leaving all of my projects. I'm like on my own, all this stuff. At the end, and then like I have one of my good friends from work. I just found out she's completely leaving the company, which is like, I'm super excited for her opportunity. It's awesome, very, very unique, very excited for her. But it's funny because it's one of those things where my key takeaway was, I was like, you sometimes get so caught up in the work, you get so caught up with, this is my team, these are my people, all that stuff, where it's like, at least for me, who's been at the same company the entire time since graduating, I'm like, oh shit, this is still a job at the end of the day. Like, there's technically not anything that's saying you have to be here. There's nothing that, like, it's not like it's not like a school or anything where you're like, oh, I'm at NIU, like whatever. I'm like choosing to be here. Like, it's, I don't know. It was just interesting to me because I think that was something I realized. I was like, I mean, I love my team. I'm excited about the work I'm doing, but there's theoretically nothing stopping me from being like, tomorrow, like, peace, I'm out. I want to do this. Like, nothing.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think the thing that like really gets us wrapped up in that thought is like, we think that our job is the main part of our life, especially when you're like a young professional wanting to advance your career, or like, you know, you want to make more money, or you want to be more successful, or, you know, we constantly think or are shown that like our job is the most important thing because that's what pays our bills. That's what allows us to do fun things. You know, it's like, this is what we need to put all our energy into, not hobbies, not hiking, not a dog, you know, like, we need to work, and like, that's what we need to do. So it's like, when someone leaves that, you're almost like, what are you doing? What the hell? Like, how are you able to do that? And it's like, what it is a job.
I thought you were supposed to be working like 9 to 5. Like, what's going on? Or I thought you were supposed to be doing this, not going off doing some fun, new, cool thing that I have the same capability of being able to do, but I'm just like.
Plus, you just get like attached to people too. Like, I know, like, in the Zoom world, he was the person I talked to the most, just because like he's my manager and who I like ask questions and whatever, talk about soccer. So it's like, people that are, especially like you that have been in the same company, you know, you've moved around a bit, but like,
no, but you make relationships with people to where like I've even thought about this, not like a lot, because again, I'm very happy with where I'm at, and I haven't like had the need to like look elsewhere for jobs. But like, assuming I'm not going to be in the boat where I'm like staying here forever, like, I've even thought, it's like, oh my God, like, when I have to have that conversation, like, it's not going to be like an easy conversation. It's not going to be
it's so weird.
Well, it's so weird. And like, you probably feel
even just like your job my job at Panda, just saying, hey, I'm leaving, even though like, you know, I'm graduating from college.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking for a post-college job. And I'm like, hey, I'm not working at Panda anymore. And it's like, what?
It's so funny you say that, because when I left Regal, I thought the same thing. And I'm like, this is literally, like, looking back, I'm like, that is so stupid that you had any sort of nerves about being like, I'm not coming back. When it is literally, like, put on a platter, the easiest way to be like, peace, I'm out, is like, I'm literally going to college.
You have to write a letter. You don't have to do whatever. Literally just like, say, I want to put my 2 weeks in.
It's just, oh my God, it's so funny. But yeah, no, like, now it's just different, because like, you're with, I mean, obviously now a lot of it's virtually, but you're like virtually talking with these people at least 40 hours a week for years on end, like however long you're at the company. And all of a sudden you're just supposed to be like, yeah, so I'm leaving. It's just weird. Like, I understand that this is just part of it, and that's just part of the process, and it'll come with time.
Yeah. And again, it's just like the focus on the 9 to 5 that really like just sets it off.
Yeah. And it's also really easy. And this is where, like, when I think about this too much, this is where I get uncomfortable. Is I was like, I also know it's very easy to just become comfortable in what you're doing and like just complacent with like everything going on. You're like, oh, this is fine. Like, you're just chipping away, another week at work and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, dude, I've been here for like 5 years. And then you're just like, that's where the SpongeBob meme gets in my head, where it's like the guy driving. I mean, granted, we're not driving. We're getting up from our bed, going to our computer. But it's literally like, going to work, coming home from work, all that stuff. It's like the exact same thing over and over again.
Or bad screen to good screen.
Yeah. Oh man. Deep stuff. Deep stuff. But yeah, no, I think that really covers kind of everything we wanted to
And it
talk
sums
about.
up, yeah.
But yeah, we could probably get into our second half of segments. So before we get into our deep dive, just want to remind everyone we do have our like Ask Us Anything segment at the end, but obviously love to engage with you all throughout. So if you have any questions, anything for us, keep throwing them in the chat. It's been awesome so far. Got some great engagement that some people, like Tyler was saying earlier, got scared when we heard that noise from Enzo. So stuff like
Yeah.
that, we love to hear it. Hopefully you won't get scared again by anything. But yeah,
Wait, Enzo's been
yeah,
held back now.
exactly. But yeah, we can get into our deep dive. So I don't know if you want to get started with yours.
Yeah, definitely. So I not very this probably is like not very deep of a dive, but I
No,
have been
this
talking.
is. I'm assuming this is what you're talking to. You talked with me and Kyle about the other day.
Yeah.
This is a pretty like.
Well,
good one.
yeah,
I
okay.
was
So
like, there's some really good stuff.
yeah, I guess this is
No
for
idea,
people that like
yeah.
skiing or snowboarding or snowshoeing, outdoor activities in the wintertime. But obviously that's a pretty big proponent here in Denver, Colorado. But while we were at the going away happy hour for my manager last week, there was a guy on one of the other teams that I got to talk with while I was there, and he's actually a Colorado native. So one of the only, one of the only people there that are like Colorado natives. A lot of people are, as you can tell, transplants from other states and cities.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, Samantha. Samantha's messaging in there saying Enzo would never scare me, hire me as a pet sitter. And I think you just found a pet sitter because Nancy's like, please pet sit. Enzo's
yeah,
like,
I mean,
crazy.
honestly, we're looking anyone that wants to come babysit.
Now you just got to relocate to Denver, Samantha. So
Yeah.
that's the next step.
There's an extra room. Enzo's fine with it. Just take him, please.
Oh.
But pretty much back on the tangent. He was explaining to me because I was like, oh, that he was skiing before work, and I thought that was a crazy idea because I was like, how are you getting into the mountains and like
Because y'all start at
then-
like 8 or 9, right?
yeah, 8 or 9. I'm sure if like you could say, hey, I'm gonna be a little late or something
But,
like that. But normally 8 or 9.
Who the fuck?
And
That's why. Sorry, quick thing. I don't understand how people work out before they work their work day.
Yeah.
Let alone, oh, I'm gonna go fucking ski down a mountain. Sorry, I'm just like re-emphasizing.
I think
the
it's
point,
like a
'cause,
little
like,
bit more like when you like to do something, you do it.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like I
guess.
was
That's
talking with Mauricio about this way back in the day. Like we were so easily get up at 5 or 6 a.m. to go play soccer, but yet like trying to get up at 5 or 6 for work, and it's like the worst thing in the world for school or
That-
for
I guess that's true, but it is one of the, yeah. I just want to re-emphasize that point because I remember when you told Kyle and I that he's like, oh yeah, I go before work. I was just like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
But anyway, there's a process called like skinning a mountain or skinning up a mountain where you can go before pretty much a resort opens. Or honestly, I don't know how this actually works, but you can probably go wherever you want that's like public or open. But if you go to a ski resort, the lifts won't be working at that time because it's really early and they have a specific time of opening. But they also don't charge you like $300 for lift tickets. In reality, you can just walk up the mountain. So
Hell yeah.
the skinning part is where you put like an adhesive strip on the bottom of your skis that will let you go forward but not backward. So this can also be pretty dangerous because like you're walking up a mountain in skis or snowshoes or however you're getting up there and it's kind of dark still the morning.
True.
But,
I
like-
didn't think about that.
More populated areas are okay, and normally they say like you have to be careful for avalanches because like this, if it snowed a lot, like the snow's not tested, you don't know. So like, after like they open the run, they usually like test all the snow. That way, like, people can start skiing on it or snowboarding. But you pretty much walk up the mountain with those skis and that like adhesive attached to the bottom, and then you pull off the adhesive when you get to the top, and then you ski down. So it's like a hike and a ski in one right before work.
Yeah, and I remember when we were talking about this earlier. It's like one of those things where it's so cool because like obviously there's those really big go-getters who somehow I just still don't understand morning people, but are morning people enough to where they're like, I want to wake up, I'm gonna go work out all this stuff. But that's like this is like, to me, Like if you're gonna work out in the morning, this is the way to do it because you have this cool ass workout. You're literally skiing down a fucking mountain.
Yeah, he was okay.
And like it's literally you're like, oh, time to go to work. I'm like,
I think it's
that's so cool.
like you have to do like a $25 donation to the park for like, and I think you can go whenever you want. Yeah, I mean it's better than like $200 for lift tickets, but like
yeah, yeah, like it's not like maybe it's probably not an everyday thing, but like you're telling me you can't like if you want to do that like once a week, that's $100 a month. That's not bad at all for like
and I don't know if that's a $25 donation for like the season or for ever or I don't know what it is. Probably once you go. But where was I going with that? Oh, he was showing me pictures of like ones he's done in the morning, and dude, like the stars are still out, and like the snow kind of reflects like the moonlight.
You probably, and I'm like, I didn't even think about dude.
He has like a camera, like a nice camera, and like set up with a long exposure and stuff like that. I'm not a big camera nerd, so I don't know exactly what he's talking about. But like these photos looked crazy. I was like, oh,
I didn't even think about all the pictures you'd be able to get. That has to be absolutely insane.
Yeah. So.
Damn.
That's what I learned.
That's fun. That's
might have to be doing. I'm like literally looking at buying like hand-me-down skis. So
there you go. Might as well. Okay, so mine, as was teased earlier, is about Encanto. So that's the new Disney movie I saw that if you haven't seen, I highly recommend. No lie, I actually might watch it again because the songs in it are so damn catchy. It's just like any other of those Disney animated movies, just stuck in your head. And yeah, it's crazy because, like you were saying, it's like for those of you who watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's this Rosa Diaz character who is so stoic, so stern, so
badass,
deadpan,
deep voice,
badass,
leather jacket.
Deep voice. I'm gonna make sure it's playing the right video. Well, I don't know why my TikTok's been doing this. When I click on a link, oh, here we go. This is her. She is the voice of the main character. Her singing is absolutely phenomenal. This is just a little snippet. I was trying to see if I could find a longer one, but I couldn't. But just listen to this. I'll let it loop again. It's so good. Like she is absolutely like
it's crazy the difference from
it just
Brooklyn
amazes
Nine-Nine to that.
Exactly, and it just amazes me like how talented. I mean, I know everyone's super talented, but like how just it's so good.
Mauricio likes
just
the
said
Louisa
the Louisa song is now remind me because I obviously only watched it the one time. Is Louisa the strong sister? I think right, if I'm not mistaken. Because if so, dude, that song was the one that particularly like when it was playing. It's funny because like this movie's been out for a bit to where there's the songs on TikTok and I'll hear it and I'm like, yes, like it's connecting all the dots. I recognize the song. The movie was absolutely phenomenal, and it's like obviously like I want to say Coco. I can't remember where it was based out of, but it was also like they're speaking a lot of Spanish, and like this one's based out of.
I think it's in Colombia.
Oh, because this one's in Colombia
and then
as well.
Coco is Mexico, I think.
Oh, Coco's in Mexico. Oh yeah, Coco is in Mexico. This one's in Colombia. And dude, it's just so good. And like, it's also just crazy. Like there were times where I was sitting there and just like, damn, animations come so far. Cause like you're seeing like the detail on some of just their hair. I was like, what the like, yeah. Oh, and Marisa said the strong one when she's taking animals. That was a really, really good one. Like I'd say between that one and then the one, dude, it was phenomenal. I kind of talked myself so excited about it that I want to watch it again. But it is so good. The cast is phenomenal. But it's just so cool because I was like, she's literally this main person. And then I was curious. I was like looking at her IMDb. She not only is obviously like probably most known for Rosa Diaz, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She voices Mirabel in Encanto. But she literally has like other voice experience where she plays a voice on Bob's Burgers. She plays which I haven't really watched that show, so I guess she plays Chloe Barbash, Deirdre, Senora Balthazar. So for people who listen or watch that, maybe you know who that is. And then she also has played recurring guests on Family Guy, Lola, and like different students. I guess just like it's just crazy that like
voice acting, dude.
I don't know. It's wild. It's just so I don't know. It was really cool to see because like as you are the same, it's like you're a fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you see someone some way, you love their character, but for a totally different reason, and then just like, oh, by the way, I can sing, I can do all this stuff. I guess she did some stuff in like Broadway. I was just like, who even is this? Like, this is just crazy. Now it almost makes Rosa and Brooklyn Nine-Nine seem like that much more impressive when you take into account, it's like, oh, like, this is like totally out of character for you, and you've been doing it for what, 7 seasons or whatever it is. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. People just like any moment where it's like, oh, I could get into acting. You see someone like that, like, nope, not a chance, not a chance. That's just crazy. But yeah, that was my deep dive. I like saw that and I was like, great excuse. I was like, it's not really a comedic report, but I wanted a good excuse to play that TikTok because like, anytime I see a video from like the movie, it just gets me hype. The Louisa song, like Mauricio was saying, just top notch, absolutely top notch.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. I think we'll have to watch that movie here soon.
Yeah.
We still have the Eternals to watch too. So
I
Racking up
want
the
to
list.
rewatch Eternals. Like now that it's out, but yeah,
Yeah.
I also got to finish Don't Look Up, so that should probably be next on
Good
the
one.
list.
So we can pretty much get into our next segment now, the 4 p.m. meeting of the week. Obviously, mine was the manager leaving at the beginning of the year, so
Yeah,
we've already talked
that's
enough about that.
yeah, that's pretty good.
You can go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so I think I talked about it last week at my morning stand-up. I'm so pumped. I got these canvases coming in of canvas. It's like canvas prints. Like I basically choose the picture, and Shutterfly will send me a canvas of them. And they turned out awesome. Huge shout out to Samantha. I know she's listening because she kind of helped me with choosing the ones and like the sizing and all that stuff. And I'm so pumped with how they turned out. I got 2 of them to come in today. I've got one of them coming in, I think, on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So I'm super excited. The problem is they're just such a pain in the ass to hang. So like for whatever reason, all they provided to me were these little hooks. But it's not like normal hooks where you like hook them on the wall. It's like hooks where you also need like nails and all this other shit. And I'm like, oh my God, like why didn't you just send me everything I need to like hang it on the wall? So it's just a pain because like as you can probably see like right there, I'm trying to position it so you can see. I have these black pieces of tape to try to like size, or I guess you only see 2 of them because the other 2 are on this side. But I have these black pieces of tape on my wall that are just sitting there that looks really weird whenever I'm on camera for like a work meeting or anything like this because I wanted to see like size wise how it would look on my wall. And it's just annoying because now I'm like, oh shit, I got to hang these. And it's just a way more complicated than it should be to hang these. And I've got stuff coming in on some point this week, Wednesday, I think, to like where I ordered like, they have like command strips to like where you can just put them on the wall and it'll like hang for canvases. It's just way more painful of it than it should be. So that's my first one, is just hanging the canvases. I'm very excited with how they came out. So that's the more important thing. But that's an inconvenience. And then the other one is, I don't know how many people listening have off today for MLK Day, but like Tyler and I know do not. And it is something where I didn't even realize other people got off. And I had this moment today. I tweeted about it because I thought the conversation was hilarious. But I literally texted Carter. I was like, not even thinking. I honestly, now looking back, am a fucking idiot because I wasn't thinking like you obviously get off school for MLK Day. But I've been like working since like 8:30, 9, whatever it was. So I texted, I was like, hey, do you have school today? He's like, no. I'm like, damn, I'm jealous. He's like, well, you haven't been in school for 3.5 years or 3+ years. So, and I'm like, okay, dude, like you didn't have to immediately come at me with making me feel old. And then later I came back with, I was like, just so you know, it was only 2.5. So like, let's slow down with my age. But that was a quick check yourself to me where I was like, oh shit, it's been a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe people did get off today, but we definitely did not and had to work today.
Yeah, I
so.
feel like that was one of our holidays, but they have since made it a flexible holiday to use whenever.
Gotcha.
And I completely didn't even realize it. So I was like, I couldn't request off like Friday and be like, oh, by the way, Monday I'm not coming in.
By the way, I'm out. Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of like accounting firms got off because I know like we work with a few Big Four for consulting for some of our projects. And like I sent an email to one of them saying like, oh, we're out today in observance of like MLK Day. And I know like Kyle was out. I was like, I mean, I know your busy season's about to start, Kyle. So like absolutely not envious of you in any way, shape or form. But like, damn, that'd have been nice. Yeah. Samantha, I forgot. Yeah. Mitch said he had off. Cause I was texting him earlier today about like bets to do for whatever. And he's like, oh, you work today? I was like, you betcha. It's like, that's why I haven't been responding. I've been in meetings for the last few hours. Oh, it's a banking holiday. Oh, Mitch is here. Banking holiday. Oh, by the way, Mitch, I don't know if you can see previous comments, but if you can, please scroll back. We're doing a 5v5 of non-mainstream sports, and Samantha asked explicitly if the Brewers were a non-mainstream sport. Notice I'm holding myself back from saying anything about the Cardinals, Nancy. Kudos to me. Pat on the back. But Samantha did say something about the Brewers. So yeah, Nancy had to work. So I feel like it's a pretty even split. It's actually funny because Andy found out as he logged on this morning at 8:30 that he was off. Like he logged in and everything, and he's like,
Everyone's
"Why am I
like,
the only
"What
one
are you doing?"
online?" And he said he texted like someone on his team. He's like, "Are we off today?" He's like, "Yeah." So that has to be pretty nice because you're like wide awake 8:30.
Yeah.
And you're like, got the whole
No,
day to myself.
Nancy and I definitely had to work today. So
Oh yeah. I'm right there with you. Right there with you.
Enterprise, Angie, and Abbott all needed us.
Oh yeah, we all needed it. They needed to keep the stock price up. Yeah, so that was my 4 p.m. meeting of the week. I guess we can kind of get into our comedic report. So I don't know if you want to show what you got first.
Yeah, let me pull it up here. It's funny because like I feel like now my TikTok is funny to me only because it's a bunch of dog stuff. And like obviously once you get a dog because you think more dog stuff is not funny. But one of them is a dog, but the other one, oh, because this is very relatable. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I'm sure everyone else does this. Let me reposition here. So it's like want to go watch TikTok in bed for an hour. It's like, yeah, that's the night. The nightly the night tap that you do before bed. I don't know if anyone else scrolls through TikTok right before they go to bed, but I do.
Oh, 100%. That's probably why I didn't. Yesterday I was so proud of myself for the time I was going to bed at, and then opened TikTok and it was like 12:30.
And then this TikTok, which has 46.7 million views,
Oh shit.
cracked me up, and it's a dog one, and I just love it because like the song's hilarious, but the dog makes it even more funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's a really catchy song too, so
is,
it might
it
get
is.
stuck in your head.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
That shit cracks me up though.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, Samantha just said that and Pinterest are a nightly routine. I can't say I've gotten too much into Pinterest, but I feel like that's a very popular thing. But I have not. But I don't even know what you do on Pinterest. Like I've forgot someone like try to explain to me what Pinterest is, and I just got confused. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to my big three of Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, I guess. I don't really use Instagram as much, but I feel like mainly I use Instagram because of this podcast, but Twitter for sure, TikTok 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess I'll get into my comedic report. So the first one I thought was hilarious. So it's from comedian Jim Gaffigan. Oh, and Mitch, yeah, to answer your quick question, because I just saw that. Sports. So yeah, it's going to be non-mainstream sports for our 5v5. It is sports in general. And what you just said, tennis, is one that is available up for the taking. Because we eliminated 5 from our list. But so anyway, so this tweet from Jim Gaffigan, to get back to the comedic report, he said they should just bundle all streaming services together and call it cable. And I'm like, that's actually pretty hilarious. Just the fact that right now there's like, being someone who I know a lot of people listening, and I'm Tyler, I know you're in the same boat. It's like I have way too many streaming services. It's just hilarious that it's like, oh, you know what? Someone should just combine them all. And it's like we're literally never-ending loop. We're just getting back to cable. So I thought that was hilarious. And then
It's funny because I know some people even like literally use some streaming services for like the news and for like cable TV almost. So like there's still like commercials and whatever on it. Like YouTube TV does that.
Yeah,
like,
that actually I didn't even think about that because like now that like a lot of them have ads anyway, the whole pull from streaming services was like, oh, no ads, you can binge watch stuff, and now it's like basically you can get like I love YouTube TV, and if I like right now I have Uverse with my apartment, but that's just because of the utility package. That's what came with it. All else being equal, I would get YouTube TV, and it's so funny to think about because it's literally I'm getting YouTube TV to watch live TV, which was the main purpose of cable.
Yeah.
And it's just comes full circle. It's hilarious. But okay, anyway, my second TikTok is about fantasy football and fantasy football punishments. So this one says our friend got last in fantasy football and had to run unattached in a college track meet. And I just
I saw this one.
I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I'm just thinking, and I could tell it's not like any else other audio, so I'll let you watch it while I talk. But it cracked me up because I'm just imagine there's this random ass dude who's clearly like not in shape, ready to run, getting his ass absolutely handed to him in these races. Is he not wearing a shirt in that one? Oh no, he is.
No,
I was like, that'd be fucking hilarious. But I was like, just the embarrassment of having to do that. I'm like, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Imagine like winning though a race. They'd be like, "Who is this guy?
Who's the loser now?"
It's like,
be like, that would be honestly fucking wild. That actually would be definitely what I would do. Is like if we had that as a fantasy football punishment and I lost, I'd definitely be like, oh yeah, no, like I'll find the one, and we're about to find like Little Sisters of the Poor versus like the smallest schools ever, and that's where I'm gonna race. I'm gonna race with them, so that way it's like completely by itself. Oh, Samantha just said my coach ran unattached one time. I guess.
And your guy.
I was about to say like,
well,
what age?
In college.
How old was your coach? What age did he like? How out of?
I don't think you could run. I think in high school the IHSA or like the associations like you can't run unattached. You can't.
So it's got to be
unless you're like homeschooled maybe.
I think it's got to be college. But I'm curious like what age was he when he did it, and how did he do? Because, like, this guy was clearly, like, that would be me. I would be like, I'd probably fucking fall. I'd be like, this is the fastest I've ran in way too long. But, when I saw that, I was like, that is very creative. I feel like every year I'm seeing more and more creative ways to be like, if you lose your fantasy football league, this is a way to fuck them over. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So he's 25. Oh, so he recently did this. So good for him, I guess. That's also. Oh wait, no, your last coach was pretty young because I was like, that's pretty young to be a coach. Like that'd be like Tyler or I being a coach. Be like, run faster. But yeah, no, that's our comedic report. So we do have our Ask Us Anything kind of section blocked out. We don't have any questions, but obviously we've gone through some from you guys in the chat. So we'll get into our 5v5 really quick. Obviously, if you guys have any questions for us, like it could be completely random, kind of like we did last week or anything like that, throw them in the chat. We'll engage with you guys after. But first off, we got to get into our 5v5, non-mainstream sports. And Tyler, you get to go first because I went first last week.
All right. I think my first one is going to have to be golf.
Okay. That's a good one, but I'm happy you didn't choose mine. That was like probably number 2, but my number 1, and I'm very biased because I played in high school, was volleyball.
I was going to say that one.
But golf is, but I literally, it was funny because I was like going through the list. I'm like, oh shit, golf. And like golf is one where like now, I would still love to play volleyball now, but like golf's just one where it's just such a fun activity. And like that's one, I mean, maybe volleyball's the same way, but just one of those where you watch it and it's like, damn. Like,
I really wanted to go Saturday. It was like 60 degrees here Saturday. So
damn. That's again, we keep alluding to potentially me moving there, but if I do move there, I'm like pumped because my driver will be so much better. So I'll just like launch it. I'll be like, oh,
that's right.
Something must have been wrong over in the Midwest, dude. I was not hitting like this. This is how I hit. But yeah, my first pick is gonna be volleyball.
My second pick is probably gonna be track and field. It's probably my favorite that I participated in.
That's a good one. You probably just earned Samantha's vote. Samantha asks, beach volleyball or regular? Should I specify or no?
No, I mean you're fine, but I
personally like I really do miss like when I was in high school, like playing like in the gym, you're in volleyball, but like hands down now I'd be like beach volleyball 100%. Beach volleyball is just so fun. It's a hell of a workout too, because like jumping in the fucking sand
and running around.
But it's so fun. Oh my god! Especially if you're like on a beach somewhere doing this, and you're not just in like a sand court, but you're on a beach, because you can be like, okay, I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna go run in the water really quick, fucking chill, have a few drinks, come right back. So volleyball, like, oh yeah, that one felt good. I'm gonna say for my next one, I'm gonna go with one that I think I did swim team 1 year, but otherwise love watching in the Olympics, and I'm gonna go swimming.
That's a fun one.
Oh, she was just asking for preference. I would say I prefer beach volleyball.
Swimming is a good one. I never did it in school, but I wish I did. I wish I kind of did have.
Oh, Samantha, you should join a beach volleyball league. 100%. That's
Oh, yeah,
something
if I could.
where, I mean, by the time I came to Chicago, it was like already July, so most of the leagues started already, so I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, she already said Tyler has her vote because of track and field. But yeah, like, but yeah, no, I definitely want to do that. That's something, I assume they have those in, I'm just like, at this point, I'm halfway moved there. I was about to say in Denver, dude, if they have them. Here we go. By the end of this podcast, dude, I'm going to have a lease and everything.
They do have sand volleyball courts here in Denver. There is a league actually. There's quite a few leagues for beer kickball, sand volleyball.
I feel like I would
And
suck at kickball. We can do it 100%, but like
well, it's crazy with all the people moving here. I feel like we'll
we
have a
literally
team
could make a
that's like
team.
lit.
Yeah, I gotta see.
We'll have-
I gotta slow
we'll
down
have
because
Enzo
this is what happened
mascot.
last time. Is I
You
was
get ahead
like
of
I
yourself.
literally was like so happy.
Set
I was like
yourself up
packing
for-
my bags, and then it's like, oh, by the way, random Wednesday, Jason, you can't do that. So
Yeah.
we're gonna pace ourselves. But at the same time, excited, and that won't stop me from looking at apartments. And I think Samantha asked earlier if you like, do you look at mansions on Zillow and stuff, and like stuff that's completely out of your price range? 100% yes.
Yeah, that's what it's
100%
there
yes.
for. So, I think my third pick I'm gonna have to go with is gymnastics.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I was a big fan of gymnastics.
That's a
My
good one.
mom and sisters loved watching it, so I actually did like watching it.
That's a good one. Oh, so something that Mitch just threw in the chat I have on my list. But I think in the interim, I'm going to go with one that I've recently like really enjoyed watching and betting on, and that's boxing. Just like some heavyweight fighters and just rooting for them to knock the shit out of each other. That's pretty fun.
Nice. Hell yeah. I think. Um,
Oh,
I'm
by the
probably
way,
gonna-
really quick, when we said non-mainstream, we're getting rid of baseball, basketball, football, hockey, and soccer.
soccer.
Although, no shot at any of the hockey fans out there, but if we didn't include that, I don't know how high up it'd be on my list. So,
My fourth pick I'll probably have to go with is bowling.
bowling. Oh, dude, I didn't even think of bowling.
Big fan of bowling,
That's a good one.
especially in the wintertime.
Bowling's fun. Yeah, see, Gavin, that's what I was back and forth between. Gavin just said UFC's better than boxing. I was between MMA and boxing. Isn't MMA the same? MMA is UFC, right?
I think you can
Or
use
is
mixed martial
MMA
arts in a UFC.
Is UFC? I think is UFC the name of the league, and then MMA is like
I-
the sport.
I think so. I don't.
Well, hopefully boxing's close enough to
Someone might
MMA.
have to answer
and
that. Gavin, maybe?
Yeah, Gavin seems to be very into whatever's going on with that sport. I bet on MMA.
Whatever's going on.
That's well. All right, so Gavin definitely watches MMA, and then one time, this was one of the times earlier we're talking about wings and stuff. And sorry, I'm laughing at Sam's response right now.
Pickings
We'll get it.
are going downhill. What's wrong with bowling and gymnastics?
That's hilarious. So Samantha just said Tyler's picking. I don't know why she said pickings. That sounds weird. Tyler's picks are going downhill. And then, yeah, Mitch just confirmed MMA is the sport, UFC is the league, basically. Now I completely lost what I was going to say. Oh, one time my introduction to MMA, pretty much I'd say, like to actually watching it, Gavin came over to when I was at my parents' house and came over and like we're like, oh dude, let's just like, I had no idea of it, but like, oh, I'll throw $10 on a winner so I have at least something to like go for. And like we got food and everything. Dude, a guy's lip fell off his face. Like he got punched and his lip just became detached. I'm like, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. So that was definitely like a moment I will never forget about MMA. And like anytime I see that guy's name anywhere, I'm like, you're fucking, that was gross. That was really gross. Okay, anyway.
People don't like bowling, huh?
Yeah, apparently people don't like bowling. I like bowling.
That's right. Not for everyone.
Wait, but like, when you say you don't like bowling, and I'm talking, it looks like
Are you
Gavin
talking about
Samantha,
Wii bowling or real bowling?
or not even just that, but are you talking like you just don't like going bowling? Like I'm not saying I watch the what is it like
Oh, dude, I've
PBA or
never
something.
seen a
No one,
match
yeah,
in my
no one's
life.
watched, but like you just don't like going bowling. Mitch is probably like, well, date night idea crossed off the list. No, I have no idea.
Saved you there.
Oh yeah, search Alistar Overeem Lip if you're curious to see it. Don't do that. Don't do that. I would not recommend. All right, sorry, going off on tangent here. My fourth pick, I'm gonna go. I'll go with tennis. I'll go with tennis. I think that's a good one. I'm not good at it. I would love to be good at it, but that's a good one. I feel like that's one I like at least know some people in. And also completely, well, I guess it's sort of related to tennis, but that movie called King Richard or whatever, that's based around Serena and Venus Williams' dad, was a really good movie.
Yeah, you saw it.
Dang, yeah, I did say it is really good. Samantha just said bowling is boring. It's boring to watch or play. Damn, savage.
It's hard out there to be a bowler, I guess.
Like, it tie her up on the list in cross country, Samantha. That's all I'll say. Tyler actually ran cross country, so I'm kind of roasting him too, I guess.
I did, but I enjoyed track and field
Oh,
better.
dude, Gavin
more,
hard
so.
agrees. Sports betting should be a sport. That would be pick number one. 100%. 100%.
Bet on sports betting. Bet on how many bets
Who's
I'll
got
get
the
right.
league? Who's the league champ?
My last one here, I don't know. I was gonna say like skiing, but that sounds a lot like snowboarding. But-
We can lump them together. Skiing, snowboarding,
okay.
because it's basically like you do one or the other, but it's like the same concept. You're going downhill. I know it's way more complex than that.
Just drop yourself in and go down. That's it.
I know it's way more complex than that, but I feel like if you got skiing, you got snowboarding. That's hilarious. That's not at all. It's like
Yeah,
it's
not
basically-
professionally. This is just
Yeah.
your sport you're playing.
That would be. That's something where like I definitely want to do. I want to like dude. Fuck it. When I'm out there, dude, just throw it out there. Speak it into existence. That would be something that would be
Manifest it.
really cool to just like find a spot where like once a year you just go to a ski resort and just have a ball. That sounds fun. The movie about Serena or just whatever. Mitch would watch that movie. I don't know. Samantha's just talking mad shit in the chat. Last week she was pretty spicy in the chat as well, if I recall. I don't remember what she was talking shit about. Oh, she was roasting Gavin's dog. She was roasting Lucky. Watch out! Don't be adding Samantha in the chat. She could be a little feisty. All right, so let's see. You got snowboarding and skiing. My last pick. I'm gonna go, and I don't. All right, I'm gonna go with rugby, and I don't know how rugby works. I'm prefacing it with that. I don't know how rugby works, but it's basically football. So like, if you watch it, you pretty much get to watch football. And like, if I understood how the rules work and the scoring works, I would basically be like, oh, I'm betting on football. So
Yeah.
that was like kind of my logic there, and that's what I'm just gonna go with. That's gonna be my fifth pick is rugby.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. Very. I did not even think about that one. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I just thought about it. I guess I have. Otherwise, I do have cross country on my list. Tyler had golf first, Mitch, because he just asked, did anyone have golf?
Yes.
I have lacrosse. I said MMA.
Wow. Some
I had
lax.
table tennis, so I could have said ping pong.
I had table tennis as well.
Handball, which is one we played, I think, in gym class, like in like middle school or something. So fun, and it's an Olympic sport. Water polo, softball, which I kind of felt bad if I put it on the list because it's sort of like baseball, so didn't mean to.
Savage, dude.
No, that was kind of sexist of me. I shouldn't have said that. Apologies.
No. I mean, there's like
But
the
I
softball
guess
leagues that you play.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I immediately took it the route of I'm just like, well, baseball's up here, softball's no, that's not what I meant. That's true. If I say it like that, I love playing.
You have like
softball.
the adult softball leagues and stuff.
Adult softball, a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Did not mean that at all. Jesus Christ, I'm just digging myself a hole. Cricket is another one
Beer
that
pong. That's
that
a good one,
like
Kevin.
that would be a good one. And I said cross country. Gavin said beer pong. That's a good one.
I had
Beer Olympics. Just throw it out
bags,
there.
or
Bags.
like cornhole, curling,
Darts.
bat,
Sorry,
darts,
I just thought of that.
badminton. Badminton's pretty
Badminton.
fun.
What else?
Um,
When you get just random, like when you have grapes at a party and you're just fucking throwing them down the hall and catching them in your mouth. That was like
Yeah,
Tyler and I
or
almost every
goldfish.
other party. Goldfish, whatever you got.
yeah,
Just random
just going
stuff.
for it.
Random
Juggling
stuff.
eggs.
Juggling eggs. I think we kind of covered a lot of sports. I don't know if we're missing any. But yeah, we'll run through our lists really quick. If anyone has any questions or has anything they want us to add
Where's your
on,
beer
throw it
pong?
in the chat. But otherwise, we'll recap our lists and call it an episode
Yeah.
and let people watch a football game.
Rowing is a good one.
Rowing. Ooh, that sounds
Uh,
like it'd be fucking hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Dead. Diving.
Here,
Oh, sorry. I was just saying diving. Climbing.
diving,
You
rock
just-
climbing.
Rock climbing. Oof. Some of the rock climbing shit freaks me out if you're like fully on your back and you're like going like that. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. You're about to say your five.
NASCAR.
NASCAR. Oh, racing. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, because Gavin really likes F1.
F1.
I don't really watch F1. I think Mitch watches F1 too. I haven't gotten into it.
Rams.
If I could bet on it though, I could get into it. 100%. Put money on anything.
Yeah.
Immediately interested.
Well, yeah, it's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can go through our 5 now. I had golf, track and field, gymnastics, bowling, and then skiing, snowboarding.
Solid. I had volleyball, swimming. Where's my third pick?
Boxing.
Boxing. Thank you. You remember my third pick? Boxing, tennis, and rugby. I'm fucking struggling over here, dude. On my list, I was just all over the place. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one. Mitch just added in wiffle ball. Wiffle ball is fun as fuck. That's a good one.
Nice. Looks like you can bet on it.
You can. Oh, well then. Although doesn't the same guy win every time? Like if I bet on Lewis Hamilton or whatever his name is, easy dub. I think I just
Yeah.
Well,
Well, there you go, dude.
I just solved betting for F1.
Yeah.
Just bet on Lewis
There you
Hamilton.
go.
I think that's the only guy that's the only guy's name I can recall. But yeah, that's our 5v5.
Yeah. And I don't think we have any questions. If anyone has them, they can put them in.
Yeah, we'll give
But
you
I
all a few
think-
seconds, but thanks for joining. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Once
I think
again.
that was it mostly. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed our conversations about people leaving, and hopefully, none of your team
yeah,
leaves
hopefully not for your
or leaves
team.
you high and dry.
Hopefully,
Or
if you
hopefully, if
started,
you're leaving, you know what they're going through.
hopefully if you ordered B Dubs at the beginning of the episode, it's about to arrive.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Whatever
got
takes
going
forever.
on. This is a good one. This is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Track was the only good one. Damn, but you still have her vote.
Dang.
It's enough. She said it's enough. That's all you needed. You just need a big player. You're like the Cavs, dude. You've got LeBron.
You don't
Who
like
cares who else?
gymnastics? Bowling is understandable, I guess, not for everyone, but gymnastics.
Gymnastics. I feel like Samantha
and
did
snowboarding.
gymnastics when she was younger. Like maybe not like super. Like I'm talking when she was like really small.
But it's a pity vote.
It's a pity. Damn. Well, okay. It sucks that yours is a pity vote. Then what the hell am I? She's like,
Yeah,
He's
yours
like,
not
Tyler's
even
pity vote.
existent.
Not even worth the pity. Not even worth the pity. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what's. I thought Tyler did well. Snowboarding.
Thanks.
Wait. Samantha, you literally weren't you in ski club in like middle school, or high? I don't know if that was high school. Tyler literally chose snowboarding and skiing. She's all over the place. She's all over the place. When I was 2, you can't do gymnastics when you're 2.
Tumbling
Yeah, just rolling around in the living room.
on the
Oh,
mats.
man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining. This was awesome. I think we'll try. It seems to work for both Tyler and I's schedules. We'll probably try to keep doing this Monday at 6 p.m. thing because it seems to work for a lot of you guys to engage with us and a nice start to our weeks. So seems to work.
Yeah, for a second you
Seems
said
to
at
work
6 p.m. I'm like, dude, it was way longer than that. And I was like, oh, it's 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, yeah. My bad. 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain Time for Tyler and me when I head there. Just keep throwing it out there. I have no idea how many times I've referenced potentially moving there this episode, but it's got to be an all-time high.
Yeah.
I've just decided this
Future.
is, we'll see.
I'm just gonna buy you a flannel and a trucker hat, so
Yeah.
when you get here, you'll be
That's what I
right in
should do
tune.
is like for every because like I'd say for like some of my work calls I'm on camera. Every once in a while I'll just like start adding like something that makes me more and more look like I'm like out in Denver. And at the end it's just gonna be like I heart Denver, fucking flannel, look like I'm outside, like got
Just
skis in
have
the
a
background.
I heart craft beer.
I
Yeah, have
heart
two
craft
skis in the
beer.
background.
Yeah.
Wear a flannel on top of
Yeah.
it.
So like let's go Nuggets, like just start saying random stuff. Yeah, exactly. So to manifest it. We'll see. We'll
That's
see.
right.
It's what,
Well,
January 17th? Still a lot of time to figure that out. It's a lot of
yeah,
time to figure that out.
yeah. Well, fingers crossed for Jason here, and we hope you guys enjoyed our talks about craving Buffalo Wild Wings, and hopefully no one leaves your team in the foreseeable future or ever. Hopefully you're the only one leaving when it comes time, and then we hope you learned something about skidding up a mountain and the voices behind Encanto. And yeah, I think that's about it for this week's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.